Order, order, orders. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Leilani of Barbados courtroom. I am sure you have heard that Prince Harry settled his 5-year-long lawsuit with his son out of our courts. Allegedly for a substantial amount. Some are saying 12 million. The Sun owner to pay Prince Harry substantial damages. And the publisher of the Sun newspaper also apologized to the Duke to settle a long-running legal battle over claims of unlawful intrusion into his life. I wonder if Prince Harry is going to share some of his winnings with Chelsea Davies, since she was his girlfriend at the time, since it was her privacy that was violated, not Meghan's. Well, speaking of Meghan, I'm sure Meghan will totally understand and will allow Harry to share some of that money with Chelsea Davies. Don't you think? Put down in the comments if you think Meghan would let Harry give Chelsea Davies some of his winnings. Even though I'm using the word winnings, I just want us to understand that Harry's won nothing. He settled out of court. If he had gone to trial, which would have lasted about 8 weeks, and then he won, that would have been winning. This is just settling. Although I'm sure that Harry will say that he won. The thing is that without going to trial, Harry's not really accomplishing what he set out to accomplish. If you remember in his interview up on that New York stage with the New York Times, he said that he wanted accountability and he wanted the world to know what went on behind the scenes.
What is the goal of this lawsuit, which has been ongoing now for a very, very long time?
The goal is accountability. It's really that simple.
But what does that mean?
That means that, unfortunately, the scale of the cover-up is so large that people need to see it for themselves.
The only way any of that could be revealed, of course, is if there was a trial that revealed everything. So he's not honoring his promise to the public that he was going to help fight for all these victims that couldn't fight for themselves. And it wasn't just about him, but he was a dragon slayer and the hero and the this and the that. Remember, he sat with that lady and actually said those things. Also known as the acid attacks interview. At the end of the day, I don't blame Harry in my professional opinion. I think he should have settled a long time ago, girl. When you see the likes of Hugh Grant settling, he has a money and he's settling because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to pay the legal fees of opposing counsel. That is what Harry was probably looking at in the mirror. No pun intended. I am going to have to pay opposing counsel's fees if I don't just settle now. But he knew that all along. As I said, this has been going on for 5 years. Another person who settled was Prince William, and Prince Harry slagged his brother off and saw that he settled because he was in cahoots with the papers and stuff. And William's just greedy and wouldn't even give him none of the money. But as you remember, William donated all of the money to charity. In fact, it was Invictus charity that he gave the money to. Harry, girl, you so crazy, honestly. Prince Harry, of course, would have been very happy that the NGN also issued an apology for serious intrusion between 1996 and 2011, also of Princess Diana. He would have loved that, of course. You know, anything linked to Diana, he's there for it, girl. They did not admit to any illegality, which is interesting because at the end of the day, this is the most non-apology I've ever seen. I'm not going to read it out to you because you've all probably read it already, but it's a lot of semantics. Like the phone hacking was regrettable, but they didn't do anything illegal. Some people went to prison, but they regret that too. I really believe that there are very few apologies that are genuine these days, and this one is a very good example of a non-apology. But, you know, Prince Harry will buy it just like he buys a lot of other crap that he shouldn't buy. But the real hero in this case is our favorite theater kid besides yours truly, David Sherburn. Every time he comes out of that courtroom and holds court once again on the street, I am there for it. As I said, he's a peacock. You gotta let him fly.
Let's go.
In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices.
That's not what they said. Well, at least that's not what the apology said. Go on, boy, because it's your pantomime at this point. This is your stage, honey, and you do what you do.
This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of...
They weren't strong-armed. They just didn't allow their lawyers to enrich themselves on a false hope. Harry was stupid enough to keep enriching Mr. Sherburn, and I'm sure that he was telling him, Harry, you're doing the thing that you should be doing. This is for your mother, Harry. I mean, I would think that he would have loved receiving that constant money. I mean, this is millions of dollars, pounds even, that this man has earned.
What was done to them? After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by newsgroup newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out.
And you wanted some of that money. It's true. I think, to be honest with you, that if it's £12 million, right, that's like nothing for NGN. These people have a coffer just for paying out people. It has been discovered about magazines like Inquirer that these people have a literal bank account just for every time they get sued for printing absolute nonsense and slandering and defaming people. So I'm sure that Sherburn was like, there's money there. We just have to get to it.
News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law.
Okay, we get it. People did stuff wrong and that's why they settled. Can he read more than 4 or 5 words without looking back down? Learn your script. You are on stage. So like I said, none of this will ever come out in court because they're not going to trial. So he can stand up there and say whatever he wants to say. I don't know if he was hoping this was going to be his opening argument, closing argument, girl, but he's reading some stuff that he's written there. I know a lot of you have said before that you thought Harry might have written for him when he came out on stage like this before, but I find that difficult to believe. Maybe Harry might have had some input, but he's very dramatic himself, David Sherburn, and quite entertaining in his own way. So I don't think he needs Harry to give him any pointers. I mean, would you depend on Harry to write something for you? I really do like to see when David Sherburn comes out with his theatrics, and now you can understand why so many celebrities really like him and hire him. They know a star when they see one. But getting back to Harry, he seems to have got the memo that him and Meghan should do things separately. Remember, we told you, Harry, you're not supposed to do things with Meghan. They really don't like you two together as a couple. So let her go and pretend to give out things for the Altadena Girls Foundation. And you now have to go separately and play with the firefighters' time and the dogs' time. Those dogs and firefighters have jobs to do, and he shows up to hang out with them and get a whole bunch of pictures taken. People have really criticized him, and I don't mean for his alarming and more advanced boldness, but just as they did before with them showing up for the other photo ops during the wildfires, cleanup and rescue, Harry has no reason to be there. But I almost wonder if it's because he wanted to draw attention to himself this time because he reckons he's won a court case, he's settled, he's got money, he won. And I wonder if that's not the reason why he came out there, because in the first instance when he was with Meghan walking around, he didn't really look like he wanted to be there. And so for him to come back and be all up in people's faces, I think he wanted to draw attention to himself. And maybe if you Google Harry today, since he was with the firefighters, you'll find out that he won his lawsuit. That's just my opinion. Tell me what you think down in the comments. If they do keep coming out, it's almost as though they enjoy torturing people at this point. They get a kick out of people being upset with them. And that's just a whole nother level of psychopath. But are we surprised? Not really. Please don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Press the bell notifications and like this video if you did like it. It does help my algorithm. Thank you all so much for watching me. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Bye.